everybody, and we work on behalf of bicyclists, primarily safety of bicyclists in West Hollywood and surrounding areas around West Hollywood. And I just want to say that there are a lot of false rumors circulating around this, but to address Kathy's point specifically, the primary purpose of this meeting, I'd just like to let everybody know what the city has done, and then second, what it hasn't done. What it has done on this, because this is something as an organization we follow closely. Not all the residents want to do that. I know that. I am a local resident. I lived on Vista, south of Santa Monica. I know it's a different universe down there, but nevertheless, pretty close for over 10 years. I know the neighborhood. I know this part of Gardner. I know Kathy. I know Stephanie. And I feel like Daniel in the Lions Den of this group. Lionesses, but I think everybody's going to be mild.
That's the thing. Personally, I welcome the Kevins. Just the way we were trying to save the park, we welcomed him on the other side. Otherwise, you know, you're deaf. So we welcome you.
Okay. The city has had at least 6 meetings on this project. There's been an in-person meeting. There have been 2 Zoom meetings, starting during the pandemic when you had to do Zoom. There have been 2 commission meetings, finally council. So, by the city's current definition of outreach, they have been doing what they usually do. Now, I tend to agree that when it comes to a major change, not painting the crosswalks as was mentioned, but a major change, this will be a significant change to the streetscape. If the city should implement some procedure to inform the local neighborhood. They do that for property developments. How many neighborhood meetings have you been to? I've been to them. They do that for installing traffic circles and traffic laws. Everybody knows it's coming to their local meetings. There are other examples. So it would be best, and I would certainly support personally, improving outreach that may require direction from a certain authority to tell the city for this kind of major streetscape, you can do better. And I tend to agree with that. With regard to some of the false facts, I'm very much a numbers-oriented person. I know that Lauren is a numbers person. We want to keep the facts straight. I keep seeing this comment that Gardner Street is going to lose over half its parking. Well, that only applied in the staff report to Gardner north of Lexington. South of Lexington, there are currently 35 parking places. I've looked, I've counted, and they're, because of the conversion from angled to parallel, one side of the street, to make room for bike lanes, there will be a loss of 3. So half of Gardner is less than 10%. So I really don't want to hear all of Gardner's.
Which side?
Okay, currently, this isn't a done deal. Currently, the plan is for bike lanes from Willoughby all the way up to Fountain, connect 2 different paths, and it's going to be the west side currently from Willoughby to
It's not just 3 spaces though, isn't it?
No, it's more.
It's everybody's driveways.
Driveways. We have
Kevin's not the enemy.
I'm sensitive to that, and that's difficult to quantitate. What I've done is to
Count the driveways.
I can walk down and count it.
Just-
let me tell you what can be good news for everybody.
Not doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That would be good news for everybody.
So I'll tell you from the outset, as you probably know, I support the bike lanes.
Yeah.
There's not enough room to keep all of the angled parking, both sides of the street, make room for bike lanes. That's a conversation going. We have a lot of support out in the community for doing just that. But with regard to,
I have a question.
how much you will lose,
street.
let me give you some good news.
I have a question.
Let me give you some good news first. The staff, for some reason, were proposed reducing from angled to parallel on the west side up to Lexington. The reason they do that is because there are far fewer angled parking places on the west side. It minimizes the impact greatly to choose the west side. There are a lot more angled parking places on Gardner on the east side than the west side. So that's part of the reason. Secondly,
That's not true.
but there's a problem that makes it worse than it should be. From Lexington
Yeah, it's
north,
worse.
and I don't know why they did this. They said, well, you can either block, have the bike lanes come up and stop, have nothing to Fountain. That was one option. Lauren will remember. Others of us with the meeting will remember. Can you hear me?
Barely. Yeah.
Sorry, let me get closer. For some reason, staff said, well, whether you keep everything, no bike lanes, which we as an organization oppose, lots of other people do, but that's a separate issue like Kathy says. Or, I don't know why they did this, we're gonna convert all of the angle parking on both sides of the street. Totally unnecessary. There's no reason, you don't have to do that to make room.
How
If you
about
only do
bikes
it
learn to
on
stop
the
Kevin,
east side
Kevin,
of the street,
How about they start
you
doing
won't lose 22 places.
So Kevin,
You'll go down to 8. And I've communicated with them about this. They're talking to engineers. I expect an update to come back soon.
so Kevin, I have
And
a
then
question.
everyone should be there when
Right,
that
right.
update
So
comes back.
I want to add
So
to
it's
that.
not all of Carter Street.
Right.
It's not 22 places. It's 8 out of, it's 8 out of,
Are you
Kevin,
You said 3, then you said
Right
8,
now,
and there's
what is
10 in our
approved?
building.
So
in
I-
the next one.
May I-
that's an important issue that is yet to be discussed. And I know Steve has brought this up. That's appropriate. If I'm dealing with the numbers, I can count right on the bat. I haven't had time.
So Kevin,
Yeah.
Kevin, may I? May,
So, final comment. I want to bring up a good suggestion that Lauren made at the meeting. That is those 8 places. How do you get those back? You do what she suggested. Most neighborhoods in West Hollywood, and a number of you live on those streets. There's a little green sign here. You know about this. Permit parking. Vista Gardner has never had that. If you do that, I know this neighborhood. There are a lot of non-residents who park on this street overnight. If you institute this, like we do in Westcott, and most of the rest of the city, you will get those,
So,
you'll get
Kevin-
those spots back.
Kevin, I,
If anybody-
Kevin, I'm sorry. Kevin, let me.
No, Gardner doesn't have people
Oh, yes, you
speak,
do.
please.
I've seen them many times.
So he's spoken quite a while.
Parking overnight.
You gotta have a moderator. So Kevin,
Starting
You
that
raise your
process
hands and
as
somebody-
soon
I'm
as
raising my
possible.
hand. I'm raising my hand.
Okay?
All right,
And
Kevin,
now
Kevin.
I'm finished.
All right.
I'm gonna let the controller of this meeting call.
So I want to speak. I want to speak.